What's up, everyone? Welcome to S'mores Indoors. And tonight is a night I kind of teased yesterday on a little short video I did in the afternoon, and it was kind of an idea we were going to do going back, but I felt like this was a good weekend to do it. So we're going to be doing the first show about conspiracies. I want to kind of make this a series if possible, and we're going to start with 9/11 tonight. So I'll shout out a few people out in the chat already. We got Oric out there watching us and football. Thank you for that. Ben Grimm dancing in the streets for this stream. Dan Shine, which you might see shortly here. Shout out. And Greg McKeon. Keon. Nice to see you out there. But yeah, we're going to talk about 9/11 conspiracies tonight. And we will talk about kind of our experiences on that day, and then get into the conspiracy stuff. But joining me right now is Flesh Wound Dan. Dan, what's going on?
What's up? What's up? How are you?
Doing well. Good to have you on tonight. Got 10 people out there watching, so we appreciate that.
It's good.
And by all means, if you got stories about 9/11 or things you want to say, leave them in the chat. We'll pull them up as well. So, but yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. What were you going to say?
Oh, no. Tonight, I think I will solve it. Because at the end of the day, before September 11th, 2001, there was no record of Cool Duder existing. No record whatsoever. And tonight, I will prove definitively that I do believe it was part of a Bohemian Grove ritual that summoned Cool Duder.
Okay, well, yes. That could be very possible. So
we'll prove it tonight.
Yeah. Greg's out there saying that shouldn't be called conspiracy theories because they almost always end up being true. I mean, that's seems to be the case a lot of times, but we'll get into that a little deeper. And, if nothing else, obviously I don't want to shed light or be lighthearted and about people that, 3,000 people died that day. So I don't want to make light of that, but it's all for fun. We're talking about these things, and hope you all get some entertainment out of this. So, but yeah, I've been saying that. What about X-Files spinoff show, the Lone Gunman pilot episode? That was basically the same plot. That's interesting. I'm not familiar with that. I don't know much about X-Files. I never saw it back in the day, which is strange for a lot of people to hear.
Back in the day, or still to this day,
I still have not watched much of it.
You need to binge X-Files, Corey.
Yeah.
You really need to. I mean, that you will love.
Yeah, I'm sure I would. So, yeah. And Work says Alex Jones got his YouTube channel back. YouTube is more wants more of that sweet revenue. They always want the money. So, like StreamYard too. I always take the chance to talk about how bad StreamYard is, but
StreamYard,
we're using it. Yeah. Well, Dan, like I said, I wanted to talk about kind of where we were, what we were doing when this happened. Talk about your story of your 9/11 back then.
So I don't remember exactly why. I was home, and I think the previous day I wasn't feeling great or something. So I was sleeping, and I just remember phone ringing, and I could hear it was my uncle, who, wasn't somebody that called often, and he sounded kind of frazzled, asking about my dad. And, because he didn't work there, but he had meetings in the towers before. So,
Right.
That was a place that he, did business trips. And so he was freaking out and, got us to turn on the TV. I'm kind of groggy. I'm like, what the hell is going on? you know, and yeah, you start seeing it unfold before your eyes. And yeah, that one's still etched in my brain. Like I really thought like at the moment I think like a lot of people's reaction was like revenge. Like you
All
want
right.
to get revenge, whoever did it, revenge, and you thought like this is World War III. I mean,
Right.
you're looking New York skyline and you've got just rubble like that, buildings coming down in real time. And it's like, yeah, revenge. Like, you
Yeah.
know, I want to do
Yeah.
something 10 times as bad to right that wrong. And um yeah, that was wild. Probably the only time where for just a little while I wanted to join the military just
Yeah.
to, you know, yeah, it was personal. And like on the upside, like it seemed like everybody was kind of together for a
Yeah.
little bit, which
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll ever see again, oddly enough. I don't know if
It
like, anyone
seems
could do that.
it seems like if that happened now, there'd be finger pointing on both sides. It doesn't feel like we would come together on that. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong if something like that happened, but that's just a different time. I feel like, uh,
I think it would
and that
have
was,
to be aliens. Literally, maybe
yeah,
something
yeah.
crazy like that. Like just they're beaming you out of your house or something. Like I don't know what else could do it, to be honest.
And that was I mean, that was a divisive time too because we just came through the whole Bush Gore election, not that much earlier than that,
Yeah.
where it was kind of a contested election. So there was division between the two parties, but um, a lot of that washed away when that happened. But you talked about your dad having meetings. Or had you ever been to the World Trade Center?
You know, I wish I could remember for sure. If I did go in there, it would have been as a little kid. So I never
Mm-hmm.
really had any memory of it, but I'd been there while he was there. I do remember that much.
Right,
So, it was it was jarring. I mean, he was just at work,
right.
in, Washington State at the time. So, he wasn't on business, but it was wild. It was just, you know, it feels like it happens every day now where you just turn on the news and it's like, oh wow, that feels like I'm watching history like every other day.
Yeah.
Something big or something significant that may lead to something big, but I don't think anything has ever given me the same reaction as that. And I've seen a lot of awful shit, but I don't know.
It's an event that, and I guess I'll tell my story real quick. I mean, I was just at home, was married, and um, actually newly married the year before, had a first kid the year before. So when this happens, I'm thinking, God, what have I brought a kid into?
Yeah.
At that time,
Did the
and because
draft
I
hit your
not at that
mind at all?
time, it just felt like one of those. A lot of people said it was like our generation's Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
It didn't lead to like a world war, but it felt like that in the time.
You could kind of say that you're still in a world war of sorts.
But yeah, I mean, we're
Maybe
still kind
getting
of feeling
closer to a literal one.
right.
Yeah.
And I've never been to New York, but I just felt weird about things, and I did the thing that afternoon too, where I don't know if you remember this, but everybody was going to get gas that day, filling
Yeah.
their tanks up because I don't know what they thought, but I was in a line to get gas at this gas station, and I got pulled up, and it was me on this side, and the other side of the pump was actually a Middle Eastern dude, and we were just talking to each other and kind of
Yeah.
in shock, I guess, and it was interesting to have that conversation with that guy, and I'm sure certain people probably looked at guys like that in a negative light for sure after that. So,
In a small
um,
town too, I can imagine. Yeah.
yeah, but That's one thing. We have so much news stuff happening daily now, but that's still I can still watch that footage, and it just seems surreal that actually happened and played out like it did. So
Yeah, yeah, it's like kind of like the I don't know what you would call it, like kind of like the end of I don't want to say good era, but yeah, I guess in comparison, and it really did feel like a lot of stuff just kind of progressively gets worse after 9/11.
yeah,
Um,
I feel like it was the end of. I mean, it was to me it's the beginning of the politically correct era because you look at the late '90s, right before that. I mean, Jerry Springer's Red Hot. There's
mhm,
all the shows like Blind Date. I remember watching shows like that, and
yeah,
just all kind of crazy TV. And I feel like that shit just ended after that happened.
yeah. It nothing ever felt entirely normal again after
No,
that. And I was a weird kid. Like I even back then, as a teenager, yeah, I was into politics and everything.
right,
So I remember, and I don't know about you, like right after it first happened, like getting theories from everybody. Like
right.
that was interesting because I remember like a neighbor, and I can't recall his name right now. It wasn't somebody we knew well because like everybody starts talking to each other. Like at
Sure.
least that was my experience. Like even people that don't normally talk, like and this dude was older and he swore it was the Russians. And he was getting ready. He was leaving to go to I don't know, brother, cousin, whatever it was, like because they had a bomb shelter. So, you figure 2001, this guy was, maybe not elderly, but close. So he would have grown up during the era of duck under your desk if that would do anything, you know.
Yeah, right.
So it was freaky. That first 24 hours was pretty freaky. And I mean I think it was pretty quick that Al Qaeda kind of was brought
Yeah,
up, but that first 24 hours you were kind of wondering a little bit, they're
yeah,
going to be
for
more,
sure.
yeah.
Another freaky thing that I remember doing is going out that night and looking in the sky, and there's no plane traffic in the sky or anything, and that was just weird to see.
Yeah,
So
there's a handful like really surreal moments. I remember like the start of lockdown, like right when you had heard in the news like that this might be a thing, and you only kind of partially take it serious because it's like
yeah,
there've been other things that ended up not being that impactful to your daily life. And I remember it was right when people started flooding to go get toilet paper.
yeah,
That was another surreal point in my life. And I don't know if it tops 9/11, but it was pretty close. Like those
it
two.
was it was as impactful, just a different way. I feel like, but
Yeah.
I mean, we got no more all night WalMarts. That fucking sucks. I'm shocked that we're still not there yet. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It was just, changed the world, and it kind of made you wonder, it's like, fuck, am I going to see the end?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was freaky. So, yeah, no, that it, and I mean, it's not like I had it bad in comparison to some people because I know of people that were in New York
yeah.
and were like cut off for a little bit that were not far away from that. This other YouTuber, Pete Chiarelli, 42nd Street Pete, he has insane 9/11 stories.
Oh
Like
wow.
he was right there, knew people that died and were involved in the cleanup and all of that stuff. So uh yeah, it was kind of like that nice feeling though that came after that, like everybody's a New Yorker now. And
Yeah,
I don't
for sure.
remember like that insane division that we have now.
No, no, for
You
sure
know,
not.
unless you were like, in a a terrorist. It felt like everybody was kind of together.
Yeah. I want to shout out Daily Ghost here. He was 18 months into his career in the travel business when 9/11 happened. Thought his experienced the end of his career that day.
Yeah.
He was working in dead center downtown Boston. Going outside the first hours was especially surreal. Everyone looked scared, just unsure if we were at the start of a major confrontation. And well, that was the one he just said. And then he said he went to the World Trade Center site 2 months after it happened. And there was still smoke rising, so
Yeah,
it
searching
would have
for
been crazy to
people.
see.
Yeah.
Um, Corey Ross, what's up?
What up, Corey?
Thanks for stopping by. All
So
right,
happy tomorrow.
so let's talk. I've got the way this is going to kind of work. I've got 10 conspiracy theory discussion topics about 9/11, and we're going to kind of go through each one, talk about our thoughts on them, and kind of go that way. And if you guys have comments on these topics, please leave them there in the chat. So my first one is, were the towers brought down intentionally with explosives rather than fire and structural failure? So thoughts on that?
I remember for a while, kind of, at least when I first started to maybe question what really did happen, probably years later, but was the whole steel beam thing and how it wouldn't have melted it. And
Right.
this is obviously something I have no expertise in. So,
Sure.
I mean, I guess I'm kind of just going by what I'm hearing, but I know there was a lot of back and forth with that, and I feel like maybe that's been somewhat debunked.
Yeah, I feel like I've watched a lot of shows with like structural engineers who, they talk about that pancake effect that the floors would have had, and that makes a lot of sense to me, really.
It's a lot of weight, a lot of shit.
Sure.
I was like, okay. I mean, even though for a while I did see some breakdowns that really made me wonder. I don't feel like it was brought down by an explosion, but there's definitely a lot of conspiracy angles with it that I may be starting to believe.
Yeah, and obviously people can spin their their line of thinking either way on that. So it's it's always tough to kind of make up your mind from that sometimes. But I've always kind of felt that that aspect of it was true to the story, that all that heat and fire kind of did
Yeah,
its work on everything and brought it down.
yeah,
But
it
yeah,
makes sense. I mean, it's the living hell in there at that point. So,
yes.
yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna kind of stick on that for topic two. Why did the third skyscraper, untouched by planes, fall in a manner resembling demolition?
That
That would
that
be
was
Tower
probably,
7.
yeah, that was probably like the first one that I didn't understand even then. Like I'm like, what? Wait, why? That was confusing. And the only thing in my head, I guess, would be like, well, the force of that coming down just
Right.
made that come down. I that I do remember being like the first thing I questioned. Not that I thought conspiracy. I just probably in the moment I thought like maybe they blew that up. Maybe they had a bomb in there or something. I don't
Right.
know.
There's always those people that say that there was, like, what do they say that was in there? There was like government offices and government information in there. I feel like is what they say. And wasn't there a story or something where that had been reported before it actually came down, that tower had fallen or something like that
there was
somewhere?
there was a reporter. I do remember that. Like there was a reporter that did report that it fell, and it's like that didn't happen. Yes,
Right.
I mean
Yeah.
it happened after, so there was some weirdness there. I mean, it it's funny now because it feels like almost everybody hates Dick Cheney Like, it's like it's not even like a Republican or Democrat thing anymore. It's like there's like 99% of people just fucking hate him. And man, when you look at like the financial interest that he benefited from, Bush also drawing up plans to go after Iraq, and he had all that drawn up before he was
Yeah.
even elected. Um, that's a lot of stuff. The more and more that came out, and I don't think I knew what a false flag was in 2001. Maybe I saw it in a movie. I don't know, but
Yeah.
like I do think there is something to that, because people are easy to manipulate, and
Sure.
I mean, it worked. I mean, I wasn't immune to that. That's the only time in my life I ever considered joining the military, you know.
Right.
Um, but there's a lot there. The fact that what's his name, Mark Rossini, that FBI agent who recently is told a lot of stuff that the CIA knew about the hijackers' plans, not filling the FBI in on certain things. John Brennan, who was working in Riyadh, I believe, at that time, and a lot of really weird shit. I mean, these hijackers were on their radar, and I know they were trying to get informants and everything. I know the 9/11 report didn't include the CIA plan to recruit hijackers. So, I don't necessarily believe a lot of the stuff in the 9/11 report, because it's obvious
Right.
that they're keeping stuff from us. And I don't know. The other one, and I'm probably saying his name wrong, but Musawi, is that how you say it? That one guy
Yeah.
whose laptop the FBI didn't allow it to be searched. I know I'm throwing bits of info that I remember from over the years, but there were a lot of weird things that just came out. And again, like all of those contracts that Cheney got, and
Yeah.
Halliburton, um, I don't think it's that ridiculous anymore that this might have been something they manipulated for, reasons to nation build or whatever. I mean, that certainly did not go well,
Right.
as we've seen now. So I don't know.
Daily Ghost is asking if that's John Brennan from the real world. Is that the same guy?
Maybe
Okay.
he had a very different life back in the 80s,
Yeah.
late 80s.
Ghost is saying, isn't it possible the foundation was so damaged by the towers 1 and 2 it weakened tower 3? I mean, it's possible. I don't know.
Yeah. I've heard some
Again,
people say no and some people say yes. So
right.
it's like, I mean, I'm no expert on it. It seemed bizarre to me at the time,
Yeah. Ben says he heard the guy that owned that building added insurance for terrorist attacks a month before it happened.
Yeah, there were a lot of little weird things. And,
Yeah.
some not terribly big, weird things. It's almost become, though, like it's not a like Republican Democrat thing. Like there's a lot of people
No.
that don't believe that we've got the full story on that. And
You, you know, it's weird. That it kind of reminds me in that way of Epstein now.
oh
It's
yeah,
kind of like both sides are wanting to know what the hell happened there. So
I know it'll be like probably a future episode for you, but you look at something like the JFK thing. I don't even think
yeah,
that's a conspiracy theory anymore. I mean, all
no,
signs pointed to CIA involvement in that.
yeah,
So I mean, the government's done it before. You've got, I mean, awful shit. I mean, the Tuskegee experiments, I believe they called them.
oh yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
just horrific shit. Manson, which I'm sure that'll be an episode. The LSD stuff. Some of this
Yeah.
stuff has actually been, out there now. I mean, MK Ultra,
Yeah.
it what who was the president that warned of the military industrial complex and gave that really scary speech? Was it Truman?
Oh shit. I don't remember for sure, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just that speech that was like, oh, you go back and look at it now. I think the
Yeah.
scariest thing about it is like all the stuff that we, react to and get outraged by. Like the scariest possible thing is that
Eisenhower
there
gave
you
the speech.
go. Okay, my bad.
He was
Yeah,
a military guy, so
yeah, and like, but that's the scariest thing is like, are the people in charge just fucking evil? That we're just
yeah.
rats in a maze reacting to all the little cheese they dangle for us.
Yeah.
That's a scary thought.
It is, and another thing tied to that, I feel like I heard about like government people bringing in things into that building not long before all this happened too. So it's
Yeah,
just weird. It's the one thing I, for the most part, believe most of what we were told about 9/11, but that building is a questionable thing that happened that I would love to know more about. So
I mean, some of it could boil down to letting it happen more than just actually doing it.
right,
Um, you know, there's other things that I've heard over the years, like they've had multiple chances that they could have just killed Bin Laden, stuff like that, and
I
it's
mean, they
like,
gave him weapons in the 80s, you know,
yeah, yeah,
those people, and
it's just like the
so
fingers are always in there, just moving these
yeah,
chess pieces, and yeah, they felt like they needed a reason, I guess, to go after multiple countries. Not, hey, I get it, like, but but not exactly, the beacon of light. Some of these countries, but I don't,
right,
did Iraq really have anything to do with 9/11? I mean, you could make more of a case going after Saudi Arabia.
right.
They were all
There's
Saudi.
too much money exchanging hands there though. So
Yeah, yeah, to this day.
yeah, especially today. Greg is bringing up David Icke, guy in the UK that did a lot of 9/11 research. I'm familiar with his name because of Art Bell, I believe. I will have to check some of his stuff out though, because interested in seeing what he's come up with. So
I think, ironically, I think it's uh Tucker Carlson right now is like releasing a documentary on it. And that's what caught me when you said you were doing this, because I saw some news video where it might have been Cenk Uygur, somebody on the more liberal side of things, like, yes,
yeah,
I agree with everything he said. It's like,
yeah,
holy shit, like you don't see that on much of anything now.
no,
So it's like, I don't know. I tend to believe that there were certain things manipulated about it at the very least. You
yeah.
know.
It's it is an interesting time now. Like some of the people that are coming together on certain topics, which is weird. And I think a lot of that's come out. One I didn't want to do it yet because it feels too fresh to do. But one day I'm going to do one of these shows about Charlie Kirk, because there's a lot of stuff that's I watch daily that makes me question everything we hear. So,
Yeah,
um,
I mean, yeah, somebody's dead, and that's it's a touchy subject, but like there are some weird things with that too.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
we're definitely, as that plays out more, we'll definitely touch on that down the road. But Christian is out there. What's up, man?
what up,
Nuts.
Christian?
I've been obsessed with 9/11 stuff. I'm afraid to say who I think did 9/11 because they're so powerful. I mean, you're not wrong. So,
Yeah, it. That's like I said, that's the scariest thought. It's just the powers that be, and they're fucking evil.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
All right. Well, let's move on to topic 3. It's the Pentagon. Was the damage consistent with a passenger jet, or was another type of weapon involved?
Uh, Somebody brought up in one of the chats before about that, like the Pentagon, wasn't it like just that little grainy footage? Like there's almost
Yeah.
nothing, which
Yeah.
that
Like
always
a
seemed weird.
flash.
Yeah, it was like almost like like I don't know how you would block anything there, but you would think even back in 2001 there would be constant footage of it. It's the fucking Pentagon.
Yeah. Right.
So that was always really strange. Um, the fact that it wasn't damaged, too severely kind of deal. Like it didn't just get wiped out.
Right.
Like the towers. Uh I don't know on that one. It's like I said, it's like if it was one little unexplained thing, I could say coincidence. Um, but there's a lot. There's a lot. The fact that the hijackers were in the US, it was known about. One of them, I can't remember the name, but one was in like the phone book. Like
Wow.
they were here, trained trained in aviation here. Like
Yeah.
like I said, I tried to refresh myself a little bit, so I know I'm a little all over the map, but like
Sure.
there's enough that it's like, man, like I cannot believe that you're that stupid. Like they were all on your radar. It sure feels like something.
Yeah.
And the one name I looked it up, Mark Rossini, FBI, an FBI agent, and Alex Station. If you look into some of that, there's a lot of weird stuff. And yeah, and the CIA not informing the FBI that 2 of the Al Qaeda terrorists were in California. It just, I don't know. All signs point to maybe they just let it happen,
Right.
because I think all of that's confirmed now. Bush was essentially drawing up a revenge plan for his dad to go after Iraq. Um, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Thank you, Christian. I've got a new computer here, so I'm sure I was probably sounding like shit to everyone.
no,
But
you
thanks.
you sound better now though.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
yeah, Christian says there was a CNN broadcast where the guy says there's no sign of a plane there. So, I mean, you see those pictures, and I see no plane parts there, which is interesting. And I know there's been people say, "Oh, we saw the plane come in and hit," but people can be paid to say shit. So
People can be paid to say shit, and there's also that it's not even intentionally lying. You just hear all that, and it's like, yes, I remember seeing the plane come in. It's
yeah,
so you can't really go by that. But the Pentagon part seemed really fucking strange. Like
yeah,
they didn't fully plan it out properly to make it look legit. But I think the anger was so strong. It's like I don't think there was a whole lot of people looking at these details at the time. Like you just wanted, like, all right, Al Qaeda, Afghanistan, let's just turn them into a fucking parking lot. I mean, that was my attitude at the time. Fuck, I remember. Do you remember the Raw, WWE Raw, when they
yeah,
were all reacting to that shit? That is wild to watch now.
yeah.
Like some of the anger there. And it kind of mirrored, I think, everybody's feelings
Right.
at the time. But
Definitely.
yeah, I don't think it's exactly as we've been told. I just don't.
No.
I really don't. I think there were other forces at play.
And it's interesting that maybe there are ties there between that third tower that fell and stuff in the Pentagon, and there was shit they wanted to get rid of. So
Yeah.
Anything's possible. I want to shout out Mick here, new name I haven't seen. He was talking about Clinton letting Bin Laden go in 88 and 89, or 98 and 99, sorry. He
Yeah.
knew the threat. Yeah, I mean, I think you were saying there were times they could have got him way before, but just didn't happen.
Yeah, there really it seemed to be.
What was the ship? There was a ship that they bombed at one point.
USS Cole.
Yeah, the Cole.
Yeah.
So probably should have got him then, but
yeah, 93 was also the bombing too. Like that.
yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like at this point it's pretty obvious that the government lies to you. False flags are a thing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you're the military, I mean, Jesus Christ, you got tons of wars out of that one. I mean,
I'm going back here a second. Ghost is saying there's a Charlie Kirk connection to Nicolas Cage's Snake Eyes, which is wild. I have not heard about this. So
it's been a minute since I've watched Snake Eyes, but yeah, that was a sort of assassination angle to that, if I remember right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, whatever the reasoning behind it, he was killed. So, and that's awful. Yeah. But yeah, you do have to wonder if there's a little more to it. And yeah, we did it. We did arm Bin Laden.
Yeah, definitely.
Not really that long before 9/11 in the grand scheme of things.
No. He can't vouch for it. I'll have to check that out because I'm always interested in stuff like that. So.
It's a good movie. I remember liking it. I just don't remember all the specific plot details. What up, Jake?
Yeah. What's up, Jake?
The government behind it. I'm in the it didn't happen and told camp on this.
We were just talking about the Pentagon being hit, whether it was a plane or some other weapon. Your thoughts on that topic, I guess?
I don't know. On the Pentagon, even the towers too. I've heard, some of the conspiracies that it was a missile disguised as a plane, right? With the way it blows up and all that shit. And I got to thinking because I started rewatching the what was it? The Netflix documentary on 9/11 and the War on Terror.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And which I would have to look how wide the tires were, but I mean, was it 747 planes? What size were they?
Yeah, I think so. Roughly that
big
size.
Ass planes, man.
They are.
They go into that like it's not. Is that me? Can you hear that feedback?
I don't hear anything.
Something. I don't.
Must just be me. I don't know. But
it does feel like the damage to the Pentagon should have been more to me. I don't know. Again, I'm not trying to talk like an expert. It just feels like, I don't know. That was weird to me at the time.
I'm less in the camp now of that stuff was fake. But yes, this was either government and Middle Eastern. They had a hand in it.
Yeah, or again, maneuvered it so it could just happen and they could put their plans, into motion. There's just so much to it. And when you really look at the whole Halliburton thing, and it's like, I mean, shit, Afghanistan didn't end until a couple of years ago. Think about how much money was spent just in Afghanistan. Forget, Iraq and, all the other the other operations.
And then again, who profits off that, right? Who profits off a war?
Dick Cheney sure as hell did.
Yeah.
Holy crap. How is that fucker still alive, too, is my
He's got fucking a line of hearts he's just taken.
I was going to say.
He's drinking adrenochrome. That's the problem.
Ghost was saying they were a variety of sizes of plane, but yeah,
I just still big ass. Carrier.
Yeah, they were.
Passenger planes.
Yeah, for sure.
It feels like any kind of plane really, is going to really just do a shit ton of damage.
Yeah.
You would think jet fuel it burns a lot hotter, I think.
It does, yeah.
Faster than regular fuel too. So, I don't know. The whole 9/11 commission, that was a joke, just like JFK. The Warren Commission was a joke, and because a lot of this stuff now is still redacted. You can't get. I don't know if you've watched the documentary so far. It's good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things, I don't know that you're going to ever get, confirmation one way or another. But I was telling Corey before you came on, it's like JFK, that's not really a conspiracy anymore. That was very obviously the CIA. And,
yes, maybe, but no, I think that was Israel.
Oh, okay, you're going in.
Well, look. It makes sense. The only American president to stand up to Israel was him. They wanted a nuclear weapons program, and he said, "Okay, but we want inspections. We want to inspect." And they were like, "No, we don't want to do that." And he was like, "Yes." And the pushback from that, and then there was there was something else with him in Israel, and then 6 months later, he's dead. Ain't that convenient?
There's a lot of touchy. I know that one's a touchy one for a lot of people, but I didn't know until recently that we pay their militaries medical.
Oh, you don't want to get me started. I don't think you. This is not one. You don't want to get me started on that.
We'll save that for future episodes, and we all might be dead after that one. So.
747 fell on Corey's house.
Yeah, what happened?
They only
felt
just
like Tower 7.
My bloody hat somewhere.
Yeah,
but
they'll catch us all at freaking full moon.
Oh God!
They'll take down the
the last thing on the Israel thing. Netanyahu did say that 9/11 was good for Israel because we went to the Middle East and
wrecked shop. Yeah,
they want all that. They want the whole Middle East.
It's weird, for sure.
Yeah,
we'll move on here before we get down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people going down that rabbit hole right now.
Well, because there comes a point when too many coincidences for it to be a coincidence.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
All right. The next topic. How did a hijacker's passport survive the fireball and collapse while much of the evidence was destroyed?
Yeah, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, I don't. That doesn't make any sense either.
Yeah, that is just so convenient. It's that would just fucking burn. I'm sorry. They're not all going to survive like that.
No, especially as hot as that fuel and stuff is. And they're right front and center there.
Oh, yeah, that's fucking
Was the story they found that out on the street somewhere? Wasn't that the story? Or was it in the building that they found that?
I thought they found it in the building, but that's a good question. I can't.
I don't
I can't remember all the details.
It's one of those.
Just that, I think, for some weird stroke of luck, but there's so many little things.
Yeah. It's it's weird. There's a lot of them, something like that, and then that they didn't let. They took out all the steel structure before like the investigators could like investigate it is a thing that I had seen. So it's like, I mean, you say you got this, but you won't let them do this. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's paper. I'm sure if if a fucking plane hit this place, I mean, my license, my credit cards, all that is
gone.
Gone.
Here's what they did. They brought fireproof lock boxes on with them. They just put all their stuff that said it was them in it, and then they found that. That's what happened.
Let's make it easy for them here. Put all your shit in there.
Yeah, that way they know who did it.
Make sure we look good for Wolf Blitzer.
Yeah. Let it make sure they can ID us. Jake, I did want to go back because the only things we really talked about before you came on were the theories that the towers were brought down by explosives and not the burning jet fuel or whatever. And then we also talked about that other tower that fell without the plane hitting it. Did you want to kind of touch on those? Your thoughts on those?
I went back and forth on that because you'll have to. There's a whole documentary about just that conspiracy. Since 9/11 falls, that sounds right.
That's
It
yeah.
might be.
And they bring the ones that say no way that a plane could, do this, and then so I just go back and forth because one side it sounds really good, and then the other side makes it sound really good, and I'm not like privy to that kind of science that would say this is what's going to happen, because just like a court case, the defense is paying an expert, they're going to defense, vice versa. So
yeah,
that's when I guess you'd have to do more independent research to feel.
Yeah, I was saying that any expert can make their side of things sound good. So
yeah,
but
and you're not going to question certain things because it's like, well, this guy's an expert. I mean, he knows more about the science of beams and all this shit than I do, but yeah, I don't know.
The first plane that hits, it explodes in a way I imagine it probably would, and then when the second plane hits and it explodes, it looks like a building that's been detonated to me. I mean, the explosion's so much bigger and.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that when they talk about the second plane, it was like a bomb. I feel like they say that more so than the first one.
Yeah. So. I really thought it was that reporter, though. I always go back to that one, like that it came down before it came down.
Yeah.
That was like, what was that? I mean, you wouldn't think that they'd have a reporter there in on it, but it's like it just didn't come down at that point.
Well, one thing I remember from that day, and I've watched some of those videos that are like kind of going through the timeline as it happens.
Yeah.
And there was like a good hour or so there where like they were given like, oh, that building's coming down, and then it didn't, and then they would go back and they kick them all out again for a while. And I don't know. It's kind of weird. I feel like a building falling like that's going to be a surprise no matter what, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. Well, I think I don't know. But one of my favorite videos, I'm sure you guys have seen it, but it's the college kids that are just like recording themselves. They're in like this high rise and they're just like having a good time recording themselves. And you see the first plane go into the tower. It's wild. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
Yeah, I can't imagine like just sitting there like taking a selfie and like that just happens. That's just wild.
There's not a ton of the first plane hitting. There's the footage that the guys were doing the documentary about the firemen. That's the famous photo where they're out on the street and hear the plane come over and then see it. And then I guess the one you're talking about, Jake, that's about all I know of for the first plane.
Yeah, there ain't much on that.
There's a shit ton for the second.
Like this
Right.
is 2001. It ain't like So
Yeah.
that makes sense at least.
Now there would be freaking thousands of video of that from people's phones and shit. So,
Yeah.
but all right, well, let's move on. Talk about their training. Were all the hijackers correctly identified, and could they have realistically flown such complex maneuvers?
Yes. I believe yes. I believe because some of the new information to me that I seen, CIA knew who these guys were years ahead of time. They knew they came over here, but they never informed the FBI once.
No, CIA, FBI, like the back and forth drama between those two is very much real. Like
I know, but it blows my mind that you have these agents. They knew they were Al Qaeda members. They knew that they were planning something, and if they came over here, and then the more you look into just the hijackers themselves, it's like, okay, they got all their passports from Saudis. They had Saudi money put into their accounts while they were living over, because they lived over here like a year or two. And
yeah, the one guy was in the phone.
But while over here, they were connecting with other Islamists, whatever, and that's where they learned to fly the plane.
Yeah. That kind of like tracks. I mean, I don't know how long it takes a pilot to become a pilot, but
and I think a lot of people just Middle East. It's kind of a third world. Afghanistan, that these guys are just stupid, and I just don't think that's the case for some of these guys. I mean, look at Bin Laden, for example. You're not stupid and getting away from us, the most powerful country in the world, for that long.
All right.
I mean, Afghanistan is like very tribal. It's basically like 1462 there, but I mean, Dubai is in the Middle East. That's the UAE, Qatar. There is civilization there.
And as far as them being able to do it, I'll debunk that right now, because you know how many times my ass got on Flight Simulator after that shit happened? Flew a plane into the World Trade Center. Look at a lot. That was all I did on that game.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, it's not. I think landing is probably the most complicated thing.
Yeah.
If you're not planning a return trip, I mean, I guess if I'm at a point where I can steer, I can gear it into a fucking building. So.
Yep. All right, let's move on. This is Flight 93. Did the passengers really bring the plane down, or was it shot down by the military? I'll say this real quick. So there's always the story about the people coming together and the guy saying, "Let's roll," and then storming the cockpit, right?
Yeah, it's like a good
I was having a discussion about that today. I was like, we've never heard them say that, though, have we? That's the story, but we've never heard the audio of them saying that.
Yeah, that's true. No. I can't really remember. I do remember a little bit about the audio. Have you guys ever found it interesting that like nothing like it's really ever happened again, at least with the plane?
No, because I mean, I don't know. I think security completely changed. Like it makes sense to me why. Like it was so light.
The guy tried to blow his shoes up. They made you take off your shoes after that.
Oh yeah. I'm afraid if somebody gets something in their asshole, what they might do to us at that point at the airport.
I'll be taking a bus from then on, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I know it's not every flight, but I mean, they got air marshals in almost every flight now that are armed. So, I mean, you don't know they're there, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it would be harder to pull it off too, because like somebody starts shit on a plane now. I feel like that's, hey, I'm gonna take my chances. Like, there's gonna be enough people that are gonna put a beat down on you. Yeah, you're not. Yeah,
I think it's more. I think it'd be more easier for somebody to do something like the Boston Marathon bombing.
yeah.
I think that's harder. I mean, it's just harder. Big crowd, you can't. Harder to detect something like that.
Yeah.
It always kind of blew my mind that there weren't more like just random attacks. Like, I'm sure. I mean, go to a mall like at the
Right.
right time and imagine the people you could, take out. Like,
Yeah.
and there really was. I mean, for the most part, I mean, I know there've been incidents and everything, but like there really hasn't been a lot of that. I mean, if you want to terrorize people, fuck Walmart. Like, my God, go to Walmart on a Saturday at noon.
We just people here do that shit.
Mm-hmm.
They're not
Exactly.
terrorists.
I just always found that really wild that you haven't had like somebody just, I mean, I hate to say it, but it's a lot more simple to make a, sort of pipe device
Yeah.
than you would think. Like, it's not nearly as hard as you would think. And
Yeah.
that would inflict maximum terror.
Yeah.
So, and we haven't always found that strange.
I don't know. We talked about Flight 93. What you
Yeah.
asked
Yeah.
Corey?
Yeah, sorry, I went on a tangent.
You're fine. I kind of did too. But I think there is a really good documentary on Flight 93. I can't remember what it's called, but I don't know because, like, honestly, yes, the one they take over the plane and stop them, like that is the best story. But also, as bad as it sounds, I'm also fine with the military shooting it down.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be like if it came out, oh, the military shot them down. I'd be like, well, that's probably what they should have done. I know
Yeah,
there were
because
innocent people on there, but what were they going to do, really?
I mean, you're gonna take how many ever people were on there compared to thousands,
Right.
thousands of people, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if you take it at face value and you're assuming they have control of the plane, well, it's obvious what's going to happen. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I hate to, like, if it did go down exactly like that, I hate to diminish somebody's sacrifice. I mean, it's a great story, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a 50-50 one to me.
It's one of those stories where it's like, I hope that's what happened. They were trying to do the right thing, and
yeah,
I hate for it to just be a made up story to kind of make the military look less like pieces of shit. You know what I mean?
I feel like that's how it would go now, because I think it's it's in the collective mindset that, oh, okay, well, I know what, if I'm submissive, what's going to happen in this situation. So
right.
I do think, honestly, there'd be a lot of dudes that would just fucking rush them. I mean,
well, I think now they wouldn't even got to the cockpit. Now people would have just 4 guys. The whole plane would have been on them. So.
Yeah. I mean, you're not intimidating me with a box cutter in that situation. Right. Like, sorry, like, yeah, I mean, you may be able to take me out with that thing, but I'm not going to just sit in my chair and let you crash the plane.
We all have that shared experience of that day now, so those people might have been caught off guard then because no one ever flown a plane into a building before. Hijackings usually ended up people flying to some other location trying to get money or whatever they wanted, and eventually the hostages were let go. But that was a whole new situation when it came to that type of thing.
And even really, maybe a couple instances, but nothing on this scale for over here, for like terrorism over here. I mean, there was the Atlanta Olympics bombing.
Yeah.
But I don't think nothing to this scale.
No. I mean, Oklahoma City was the biggest thing, but
That's
yeah.
why, like, sometimes it's like, because you hear that, like, there's these cells here. And it's like, logically, you would believe it because that makes sense. I mean, you can't keep everybody out. But why don't we get these smaller scale attacks? Which I say smaller scale, but again,
because I don't think. I mean, it's like anything. I mean, you're gonna have to have somebody super extreme to do something like this, and not everybody's that fucking crazy. You might have these groups that are like, yeah, but they're gonna go through with a mass bombing or mass, murder.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe they
So
come here and discover Pornhub and they just calm down. I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe.
All right. A couple, like the last couple here I have are we kind of talked about them some, but I'll go ahead and put them out here. Did 9/11 provide the new Pearl Harbor to justify wars in the Middle East and expanded surveillance powers?
Yes, 100,000%. Yes.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of things that they wanted to do and they needed that reason to do it. And what really scares me is it's been a long time since 9/11 now. Like, there's people that are out there in the world doing adult things that don't even fucking remember it.
Yeah, there's adults now that weren't alive when it happened.
So. Yeah. So it's like, that's my fear, is like, is it time for, powers that be to do something again to expand powers,
Wow.
I mean, that could all come about this Israel shit because.
And is it a dirty bomb? Is it something like a lot worse than 9/11? I don't know.
Well, it's definitely going to be a conflict in the Middle East again.
Yeah.
And Israel's probably going to start it.
They're trying. I feel like.
There's just going to be like a new slaughter port. It's going to be a totally different dude, and we're all going to just have to react. Like,
that's why he changed his name, his channel name.
I'm going to have a fucking Mossad agent come up to my house tonight.
I just wanted to watch horror. Fuck. I came on this stupid ass show. Ben says they have a small Christian militia groups attacking weather radars because they believe the government is controlling the weather down there. So
make it just cool it down a little bit, and I'm okay with that.
All right, I got one more. Go ahead.
No.
We'll save it for another show, I guess. I got one more topic, and then if there's any that we haven't talked about that you guys want to mention, we can do that too. So, last one is, I think obviously we're going to all say no on this, but we'll say it anyway. Was the public given the full truth, or was evidence withheld and alternative narratives silenced?
I think it is proven fact that that's the case.
Yeah.
Commission reports where the director of the CIA would not let the commission interview certain people.
Right.
Yeah. And there have been FBI agents who've, like I said, flat out said, like, yeah, this was all bullshit. They tried to shut them up back then. And, now I think more people are talking. But, yeah, I think that one's pretty obvious.
All right. Well, that was the topics I had. Any other topics conspiracy topics related to 9/11 that you guys wanted to bring up that I didn't have on my list there?
I think you pretty much covered it.
Yeah, I just think like yeah, again, military industrial complex. You gotta feed the beast. You know, it's like peace is not going to be good for them. Um,
Uh,
I mean, fuck. I mean, look right now. I mean, like they're. I think yesterday I heard something about possible like droning Venezuela. You know, or was it Russia and Ukraine? Certainly doesn't seem like it's going to stop. You know, I mean, there are so many fucking conflicts right now all over the place.
yeah.
It's, yeah, just how much of it's manipulated.
I guess my little final put a bow on my thoughts on 9/11 are that I believe that Al Qaeda did have the plot to do it. They pulled it off, and then, like you were saying, Dan, that military industrial complex took advantage of the situation and made
Yeah,
all the money they could off of it. So
yeah. I mean, like Al Qaeda is a thing. You know, ISIS. You
It is.
know, whatever new bow. I mean, that is a thing, and they definitely,
yeah,
you know, want to do bad things to us. But I just,
Well,
yeah,
I agree with Corey. But I think they were 100% helped completing this mission by outside powers.
that's very possible.
You don't get groups like Al Qaeda and ISIS if we're not fucking just blowing up all their shit in the 90s.
Yeah,
Because if I'm living in this country, this big bad power comes and blows up my whole family, I'm going to want to just take them out too.
yeah. You never hear of any Al Qaeda attacks in Finland. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like
there
there's a
are other
reason.
places. In fairness,
Yeah,
though.
there are.
Yeah.
But look, it's usually our allies.
Right, London and yeah,
London and then in France or Paris,
yeah,
they had them two big ones.
Yeah, and again, they're closer to it, and yeah, I mean, Muslim extremism is a big issue there right now, but yeah, I mean, I guess we do have the benefit of people tend to. It's funny. I say get along. I guess that's not the best example. It doesn't feel that way online, but you don't really see it as much out in the real world. I mean, people aren't like beating the shit out of each other in the streets as often as you would think. Like, I think we're still, you know, people adapt here, you know, more so than elsewhere. So there's still some positives about America. You can't get too down about it, but I don't know.
One thing I do feel is we are a very divided country right now, but I feel like most normal people are open to talking to each other and being civil with each other. It's the extreme ends that aren't. So
It
I do.
is.
The majority is pretty open to being around each other. So
I
agree
find
with
I
that.
just question everything now. That's like where I'm at. Like, you'll have your
me too.
reaction, but then it's like, like, is this really what it appears to be in every situation? Like now,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh yeah. And the media, all the media networks, they just strive harder to divide us further.
Yeah. And that's about money too. It's always comes down to money, I feel like.
Yep. It
So,
does. Money makes the world go round.
Ben says, have I heard about the dancing Israelis? No, I don't know. Not
I haven't dug
that.
into that one yet.
I tell you one thing the Israelis did that was fucking genius, though, was the pagers. That was a hell of a fucking deal they did.
Yeah, that was like some James Bond shit.
It was. So I'll give him credit on that one. But
you know what? We either paid for it or it was our shit to begin with.
yeah, I mean,
yeah. That is like my only thing, and there's probably like a middle ground way to do it, but it's like, fuck, we need to talk about paying like your army's health insurance. That is fucking insane. Because I don't know about you, I know a lot of people that don't have health insurance here. So it's like, I feel like Israel's got enough money to handle some of that shit, and I think it's fair.
Yeah, because we send them dollars every year. Of course, they got enough money.
Yeah, I mean that's just my thing. I mean, you got fucking nuclear weapons. You can certainly protect yourself. Like
They stole to build in the first place, but
sure, but they got them. So I mean,
well, yeah, because they killed Kennedy. And then Johnson was a little bitch and was like, "Do whatever you guys want to do."
Yeah, that it is. It's just like I don't quite understand that because they're not a poor country. Israel is not a poor fucking country. Like, I think you can handle your medical stuff.
Ben is saying that apparently while the planes flew in, a group of Israeli dudes were caught recording and dancing in the streets. They were reported and arrested.
Yes, there's a whole thing about Mossad agents coming into CIA headquarters or something. This is happening and taking pictures of shit. There's a whole lot with them.
Yeah.
In this too, but I think if you watch Tucker's documentary,
yeah, I'll have to watch that. So,
I watched that first episode. Like I said, you may hate Tucker Carlson, but it's not like you will enjoy it. Like he does go really in depth. It's a good, he's releasing them though in like 25-minute blocks, so it's you might want to just wait and binge it.
5 episodes.
Yeah. That's the one that I think that Mark Rossini's on, which is interesting hearing his shit, and they explain the Brennan stuff and yeah.
But the Netflix one, 9/11 War on Terror, it is a good one just for a general. If you're not to get refamiliarized or you just know the tires blew up and you want to know more, it's a pretty good one to watch.
Yeah,
for just that.
Yeah,
it's anyway, just watching the footage, I still 20 whatever years later, 24 years later, is I don't know, it's just still surreal to watch it and remember that happening.
It was so long ago, and you guys are a little bit older than me, and I was in 4th grade, and I still remember where I was.
Yeah.
And then when everybody was freaking out new, and the news was on 24/7 at school.
Yeah.
It was definitely one of those end of innocence moments for me, being, how old was I? 24. And, nothing like that had really happened since I was a kid or since I was born. So it was kind of like one of those moments that really puts you in reality.
I think it's probably the last thing I'll say on it all, but one of the, now to me as an adult, one of the footage that gets to me the most is when Bush is reading to the kids and they come in and tell him that, and he's got I don't know, it's just like look on his face. Like at the time you might, now he's finding out. He's got to kind of like stay composure to finish this so he doesn't freak everybody out. But he's also got to hurry up and get the hell out of there.
Yeah, I always kind of hated the criticism he got for just sitting there, because what the fuck was he supposed to do? Jump up and run out of the room and freak everybody out? Like, what was he going to do?
No.
Do you think
jump in a plane and fucking intercept him himself?
Do you think it was like a surprise to him, like, or was it? I mean, again, there's always that question, like, how in charge is the president really? Kind of deal.
I think it was I think he was kind of shitting his pants that he was going to have to deal with this shit, but
I think it was genuinely like the look. I mean, it was just, now it just like gives me goosebumps every time I just go back and watch that. It's like, oh man. And then I'll bring it back to the 9/11 documentary, but they have his, I don't know if it's his chief of staff or somebody that was like close to him in there, and they're kind of saying, going through that whole thing of him finding out and all that. So
Yeah. Gets to ghost the footage, the audio that were on the calls at the top of the towers as they started to fall.
Just
the video of the people
jumping out.
It's like I'm jumping or I'm burning, basically. Like that's
I don't think I could make that decision to jump. Like, I don't know.
I feel like I'd probably just close my eyes, hope somebody catches me. I mean, probably not that hard of a decision when you're maybe feeling like that heat start to hit you.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know. That's a lot. But you got, I don't know, because it's hard. Because once you jump, you probably got plus seconds to think about, I'm getting ready to die and all that. And I don't know. I think that'd be worse.
Yeah.
I think I don't know, momentum. It's kind of like a roller coaster, how some people like kind of like pass out. I guess that's your most positive way of thinking about that.
That's what happens.
There was one guy I seen a story. It wasn't long ago. He was like, he was doing some. I don't know if he worked for the towers or what. He was down there around the ground when all that shit was going down, and some woman had jumped, and her fucking lower half was just destroyed, but she was still alive and asking for help. And if that's true, that's just fucking horrible.
I'd rather just burn, because at a certain point, it's not going to hurt.
Yeah.
It's not going to hurt for long, especially as hot as it was in there.
Usually smoke inhalation's what gets you in those situations. I mean, but I mean, it all just depends. I remember that story of that blind guy whose dog got him out, but he could feel like he was maneuvering over dead bodies and like burnt flesh. Like, I can't even fucking imagine how traumatizing. I mean, I've met people who, have been to war and have like killed people and, had to see horrific shit. But like I said, it does make you grateful. Like, whatever problems you have, it's like, it ain't that bad. So it could be worse.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think in a lot of cases now, it really, the most recent thing, it's like your initial reaction, but then it's like, some of the Epstein stuff too. Like, apparently that person had brought that up recently and said some negative things about Jake's favorite country. So, like, there starts to be like these little connections where it does make you wonder a little bit. I don't know.
Well, we will definitely tackle some of that in the future. I figure if Candace Owen is still alive, we're probably going to be okay.
And Tucker.
Just slow, like, it's like if something just happened to somebody else right away, it does kind of like, I don't know.
Well, I'll get off of it. I'll say it warmed my heart when they're at the UN and Netanyahu's going up to speak and everybody just walks out and starts booing him. I'm like, finally, the rest of the world is coming to their senses.
Yeah, it's definitely a trend that's going around now, I think, with both sides, like I was saying earlier. So, all right, well, I want to thank everyone for listening to us talk about 9/11 and the conspiracies, and we'll have some more down the road.
Hell yeah.
I definitely want to hit up the JFK thing, of course. That's my favorite. But I've really gotten into now that the talk about the MK Ultra with Manson and shit like that as well. That's all interesting stuff to me. Yeah. So we're gonna hit a ton of them in the future, and hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thank you all for being here, and until we see you next time, take it easy.
Later.